to the final concert of the winter season. Well, not winter season, but of the fall series. I'm Joy Bennett. I'm the executive director of Old Songs, and we're pleased to have everyone here tonight. Thank you. Well, this is the final one of the fall series, but we've got great music coming up in the spring, and there are letters at the front desk that tell you all about what's happening in the spring, in the winter and spring, I should say, as well as a letter asking for contributions, because this is not possible, even with all the grants that we get. It's not possible to run these programs and to run the festival without the donations of every single person that makes a donation of any amount whatsoever. So thank you so much for everything you've done in the past, and I thank you for what you're going to do in the future. And this is going to be an amazing night, and you didn't come here to hear me speak, so without any ado, Windborne.
Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a-wandering so fairly to be seen. Now is winter time, strangers travel far and near, and we wish you, send you a happy new year. Bud and blossom, bud and blossom, bud and bloom and bear, so we may have plenty and cider all next year. Hatfuls and in capfuls and in bushel bags and all, and the cider running out of every gutter hole. We hope that all your barley will prosper fine and grow, so that you'll have plenty and a bit more to bestow. We hope your wethers they grow fat, and likewise all your ewes, and where they had one lamb, we hope they will have two. Down here in the muddy lane there sits an old red fox, starving, shivering, and licking his old chops. Bring us out your table and spread it if you please, and give us hungry wassailers a bit of bread and cheese. Bud and blossom, bud and blossom, bud and bloom and bear, so we may have plenty and cider all next year. Hatfuls and in capfuls and in bushel bags and all, and the cider running out of every gutter hole. I've got a little purse and it's made of leather skin, a little silver sixpence would line it well within. For now is winter time, strangers travel far and near, and we wish you, send you a happy new year.
Welcome, everyone, and wassail. Be in good health. We are so excited to have you all here, both in person and on live stream. So everyone who's here, give a shout out to live stream. Hi, everyone. And everyone on the live stream, give a hand for everyone here. Fantastic. So we are so delighted to be, so we are Windborne. This is Jeremy, Lauren, Will, and I'm Lynn. And yeah, thank you. We're excited to be here. We've spent this whole past year working on these songs for this season with the release of our new album, which is right over there. You can check it out during intermission. And we're so excited to finally, after that whole year of work and, editing and listening, to get to just sing them for you and with you.
So we were all raised here in New England, or I guess not exactly here, because New York, not technically part of New England, but we were all raised in New England, doing all the sort of usual seasonal things with our families, like traditional English sword dances and mummers plays, and singing songs about tiny wrens and giant rams, and wassails like the one that you just heard that blessed the houses and the orchards. And it really wasn't until later on that we realized that our upbringing was a little different than that of our peers. But these are traditions that we really cherish and have continued to cultivate in our lives today. And one thing that's really a common thread through all of them is that they're really meant to bring people together at the darkest time of the year.
And in these times in particular, we feel it's important to have those moments of gathering as a community, being together, lifting each other up and strengthening those bonds. And one of the ways that we best know how to do that is through singing and through singing together. So we're going to invite you to sing on a number of songs this evening. There's some words printed in your programs. And that's true of this next song, first off, which is an old English feasting song, the Boar's Head Carol.
And since it's an English song, we'd like you to sing along in your very worst Latin. The words are caput apri defero redens laudes domino, and it sounds like this. Caput apri defero. Give that a try. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Redens laudes domino. I can tell already this is going to be a great evening together. Like, sing that together a couple more times. Here we go. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. One more time. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Raise the rafters. The boar's head in hand bear I, bedecked with bays and rosemary. And I pray you, my masters, be merry, quod esti sin convivio. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. The boar's head, as I understand, is the rarest dish in all the land, which thus bedecked with a gay garland, let us servire cantico. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. A boar it is, a sovereign beast, acceptable at every feast. So let this boar be to most and least ad omnis delectatio. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. Our steward hath provided this in honor of the King of bliss, which on this day to be served is in reginentiatrio. Caput apri defero redens laudes domino. 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 So while many of the songs we're singing tonight are ones that we grew up with, we've also brought some songs from far and wide to share with you. This next one comes from Lithuania, from the ancient midwinter celebration of Kalėda, where there's a custom which is very similar to wassailing in England, where people go around the village asking for beer and bread with song. And this song comes from that custom. It's called Eisem Berne Kalėdaut. And it says, "Let's go, everyone, let's sing for Kalėda. You who are quick, shoo away the dogs. You who are strong, carry the sacks. You who are brave, ask for bread." And then the song describes what everyone's drinking at this point. It says that the girls are drinking sweet mead, the women are drinking beer, the men are drinking spirits, and the lads are drinking tar. This is Eisem Berne Kalėdaut.
Eisem Berne Kalėdaut.
Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Eisem mergos Kalėdaut, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Eisem visi Kalėdaut, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda.
Greiti
Šūnų vaikyt Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Katrie drąsus tuomus prašyt Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Gardė mergos saldo medų, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Moterukė salių geria, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. O virjare harjelkere, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. O bernelės malangeria, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Eisem Berne Kalėdaut, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Eisem mergos Kalėdaut, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Eisem visi Kalėdaut, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda, žak, žalmo požiūrė gelių, Kalėda. Kalėda.
One of the traditions that all four of us grew up with around this time of the year was getting to go every year and see a show that was filled with traditional folk songs from the UK and the US, and that was a show called Noel Sing We Clear by a group called. And the group Noel toured for 40 years, and Lauren's dad is actually one of the members. And so I have very fond memories of the two of us getting to sit in the audience of Noel Sing We Clear shows and sing along with the songs and listen to them and learn them all verbatim and all of their introductions verbatim. Anyway, and it's where all of us fell in love with wassails, and also where we learned this next one in particular. This is a song that comes from Somerset in England, Somerset Wassail.
And here's the chorus. For it's your wassail and it's our wassail. Give it a shot.
For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail.
And its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail.
And its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail.
For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail.
For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail. Wassail and wassail all over the town. Our cup it is white, and our ale it is brown. Our cup it is made of the good ashen tree, and so is the malt of the best barley. For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail. Oh, Master and Missus, are you all within? Pray open the door and let us come in. Oh, Master and Missus, a-sitting by the fire, pray think upon poor travelers a-traveling in the mire. For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail. Oh, where is the maid with the silver-headed pin to open the door and let us come in? Oh, Master and Missus, it is our desire a good loaf and cheese and a toast by the fire. For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail. There was an old man, and he had an old cow, and how for to keep her he didn't know how. He built up a barn for to keep his cow warm, and a drop or two of cider will do us no harm. No harm, boys, harm. No harm, boys, harm. And a drop or two of cider will do us no harm. For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail. The great dog of Langport, he burnt his long tail, and this is the night we go singing wassail. Oh, Master and Missus, now we must be gone. Bless all in this house till we do come again. For it's your wassail, and it's our wassail, and its its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail, for it's your wassail, and it's our wassail. And its joy be to you, and a jolly wassail.
Wassail! What a joy to sing with you all. So winter is, of course, a time for celebrating and feasting, but it's also a time that is very challenging for many members of our community. This next piece is an old English carol called Time to Remember the Poor. And it's a very potent reminder of the responsibility that we all share to care for those around us. And it's also a bridge between Windborne's midwinter repertoire and many of the songs that we sing year-round that deal with these kinds of issues of social inequity. And we really want to put our money where our mouth is and encourage others to do the same. So during this midwinter tour, we have pledged to match up to $7,000 in donations to food banks in the communities where we are touring. So we're going to be passing around a little red box that's over there. And any donations that you make tonight will be matched and go to a local food bank here in this community. And we thank you for joining us in that effort.
All ye who dine with face aglow in reginentiatrio, pray pause a while at pleasure's door and sup some sorrow with the poor. Good people, mind as home you go with dreams of holly and mistletoe, that the holly bears a dreadful thorn for those who wake to a frozen dawn.
Old winter is come with its cold, chilling breath, and the leaves are all gone from the trees. All nature seems touched by the finger of death, and the lakes are beginning to freeze. When your minds are annoyed by the wide swelling flood, and your bridges are useful no more, when in plenty you enjoy everything that is good, that's the time to remember the poor. The cold air and snow will in plenty descend, and whiten the prospect around. The keen cutting wind from the north will attend and cover it over the ground. When the hills and the dales are all candied with white, and the rivers are froze on the shore, when the bright twinkling stars they proclaim the cold night, that's the time to remember the poor. The poor timid hare through the woods may be traced by her footsteps indented in the snow. When our lips and our fingers are all dangling with cold, and the marksman a-shooting doth go, when the young wanton lads on the river slide, and the icicles hang at your door. When in plenty you are sitting by a warm fireside, you will tremble to think of the poor. Old winter comes calling with its snow, wind, and sleet, and the question, whose lives have worth? Is it those by the fireside or those in the street? Should it all be the luck of your birth? For their lot could be yours by a small change of fate. We're no different in worth at the core. If by fortune's fickle favor your estates were reversed, you would sing to remember the poor. Now's the time to remember the poor. Long ago, all the birds from the four corners of the earth gathered together in a great meeting to decide who was to be their king. There were some birds who thought that it was the peacock who should be king because he was so beautiful, while others thought it was the wise old owl in her wisdom who should rule. But they were birds, so in the end they decided that it was to be a contest of flying. Whoever could fly the highest in the sky would be the king over all of the birds. One by one, each bird took its turn, flew up into the sky, and one by one, they wore out their strength and returned back down to the ground, until finally, above them all, circling high up in the air, the great eagle cried, "I have done it! I have flown the highest, and I am the king of all the birds." But then, just then, the wren, just about that big, who had been hiding in the feathers on the eagle's back, sprung up, flew a little bit higher into the air, and declared itself the king of the birds. The eagle, of course, was furious, but had worn out his strength and returned down to the ground where he met with all of the other birds, said, "I have been cheated, I have done all of the work, I should be the rightful king." But the other birds knew that it was the wren who was to be their king, for why should the eagle win by strength what the wren had won by clever forethought and cunning planning? And that is how the wren became the king of the birds.
And in honor of the king of the birds, there's a custom all around the British Isles of going out into the forest and hunting for a wren, catching it and putting it in a handmade cage or a hat made of straw, dressing it in ribbons and silks and declaring it your king. And of course, then parading through the village with song, as with many of these customs, asking for beer and money. And there's lots of songs associated with this. This is one that we've known since we were kids. It's called the cutty wren, and cutty is an old word that means little, so the little wren. And we've always loved the sort of one-upsmanship of this particular song, and the exaggeration, bearing in mind the actual size of a wren, just a few inches tall. Anyway, this is a call and response song, and I'm sure that there's lots of people in this room who know it, but let's just catch everyone up, shall we? So if I were to sing, "Where are you going?" said Milder to Mulder, you would sing, "Oh, we may not tell you," said Fessel to Foes. Give that a try.
"Oh, we may not tell you," said Fessel to Foes.
Then my part goes, "We're off to the woods," said John the Red-Nose. And your bit goes, "We're off to the woods," said John the Red-Nose.
"We're off to the woods," said John the Red-Nose.
And it's probably worth mentioning at this point that if a song gets too high for you or too low for you, just gets generally uncomfortable, what you do is you stick around in the notes that are more comfortable for you, and you find the ones that you like, and you sing those. And that's how you write harmony parts. That's what we do. Professional tip here. But anyway, there's going to come points as part of this song when I become dissatisfied with the answers I'm getting. So I'll sing, "But that will not do," said Milder to Molder. And your response is, "Oh, what will do then?" said Fessal to Foes. All together.
Oh, what will do then? said Fessal to Foes.
Well, here's a better answer, said John the Red Nose.
Well, here's a better answer, said John the Red Nose.
Bring that up here, I think. "Where are you going?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes.
"We're off to the woods," said John the Red Nose.
We're off to the woods, said John the Red Nose.
"And what will you do there?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes.
"We'll hunt the cutty wren," said John the Red Nose.
We'll hunt the cutty wren, said John the Red Nose.
"And how will you shoot her?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes.
"With bows and with arrows,"
said John the Red Nose. With bows and with arrows, said John the Red Nose.
"But that will not do," said Milder to Molder.
Oh, what will do then, said Fessal to Foes.
"Big guns and big cannons," said John the Red Nose.
Big guns and big cannons, said John the Red Nose.
"And how will you carry her?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes. On 4 strong men's shoulders, said John the Red Nose. On 4 strong men's shoulders, said John the Red Nose.
"But that will not do," said Milder to Molder.
Oh, what will do then, said Fessal to Foes.
"In a big horse and a wagon," said John the Red Nose.
In a big horse and wagon, said John the Red Nose.
"And how will you cut her up?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes.
"With knives and with forks," said John the Red Nose.
With knives and with forks, said John the Red Nose.
"But that will not do," said Milder to Molder.
Oh, what will do then, said Fessal to Foes.
"Big hatchets and cleavers," said John the Red Nose.
Big hatchets and cleavers, said John the Red Nose.
"And how will you cook her?" said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes.
"In pots and in pans," said John the Red Nose.
In pots and in pans, said John the Red Nose.
"But that will not do," said Milder to Molder.
Oh, what will do then, said Fessal to Foes.
"In a bloody great brass cauldron," said John the Red Nose.
In a bloody great brass cauldron, said John the Red Nose.
"And to'll get the spare ribs," said Milder to Molder.
Oh, we may not tell you, said Fessal to Foes. We'll give 'em all to the poor, said John the Red Nose. We'll give 'em all to the poor, said John the Red Nose.
So this next song is a version of the Derby Ram, which comes from a mummers tradition in the Midlands of England, where groups of mummers would take a sheep's head or sometimes a real sheep's skull, put it on the end of a broomstick, and go around the town to pubs and houses with a performance and song, as we've learned, asking for beer and money. And the song would describe this larger-than-life creature of the Derby ram, sometimes called the old tup, that just was sort of another one of these exaggerated proportions, creature of exaggerated proportions. And the performance would often interrupt each other with interjections and antics, like the butcher having trouble slaughtering the ram because it's just so huge. And the verses also describe the various people in Derby vying for the different parts of the ram that were purported to bring prosperity and good fortune. And this song also has a great chorus that Jeremy's going to teach you.
So the words of the chorus are Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And if you're wondering what that means, we weren't sure about that at first, so we went straight to the source, to the Watterson family, the sort of great titans of the British folk revival, the English folk revival, and asked Eliza Carthy of the Wattersons, Eliza, what actually does that chorus mean? And she said, well, we've been singing it for 60 years, and we're not sure either, so you're in good company, but it sounds like this. Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. Try that.
Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem.
Do it again. Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. That sounds pretty good. You'll know your moment. Here we go.
In comes I and our old lass.
Short of money and short of brass.
Give us a pint and let us sup.
And then we'll do the Derby tup. As I was going to Derby all on a market day, I spied the biggest ram, sir, that ever was fed on hay, and sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay, and sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. This tup was fat behind, sir, this tup was fat before. This tup was 9 feet round, sir, if not a little more. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And the fleece upon this tup it grew, well, it reached up to the sky. The eagles made their nests within, you could hear the young ones cry. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. The horns upon this tup they grew, well, they reached up to the moon. A boy went up in January, and he never got back till June. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And all of Derby feasted on half of his left thigh. And if you go to Derby now, there's still leftover pie. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And all the children of Derby come begging for his eyes to make themselves some footballs, 'cause they were football-sized. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And all of Derby's blacksmiths come begging for his ears to make 'em leather aprons for to last 'em 40 years. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. And sing Lalem, Lalem, pitiful Lalem lay. of Derby to carry away his bones. It took all the women of Derby to roll away his stones and sing
That's disgusting. That's folklore.
And sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. Well, the one who sold this ram, sir, they must be mighty rich.
The one that sings this song now is a lying son of a...
And sing
lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. And sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. Well, now my story is over.
Good.
I have no more to say. Please give us all a New Year's box and we will go away. And sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. And sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. Sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay. And sing lay-lum, pitiful lay-lum, lay.
So when we were putting together the music for our album and for this show, we were looking for songs from a variety of sources, and we found this old manuscript from the 1600s, written by a group of monks in a cathedral in Avignon in France. It was a collection of Christmas carols, and they were actually written in the language called Occitan, not in French. But Occitan was sort of the primary language in the southern part of what we now call France at that time. And there's still some people who speak it today. But in any case, this collection of carols had this carol in it that we thought was really interesting because it looked at the nativity from sort of a point of view you really don't see in carols generally, and that's the viewpoint of Satan. It was called Satan Was Very Surprised. And it said that Satan was so surprised when he heard about the birth of this little king that he tripped and he fell flat on his nose. And then he sort of started quaking all over in fear, and after that he shook his fist at the heavens and had a temper tantrum. And the song suggests that we should celebrate Satan's downfall by playing the cymbals and tootling on the clarinet. Well, it turns out there's actually a second carol in that collection on the same theme. It kind of it sort of builds off the first one. It picks up where the first one left off. It's a song about Satan's mental and emotional state. It says, "Poor Satan, he's drained. He's cooked like a chicken, and he kind of looks like a sad fish. And the thing is, he's in such a terrible state now, he's in such a terrible position, you're not going to hear about him anymore. He's just going to appear in paintings." So we said, well, we have to do those carols. So we've done a medley of the two. This is Satan es benestuna, Satan is very surprised, and Lu pauvre Satan, poor Satan.
Satan es benestuna, de vevis laribando.
Satan es benestuna, de vevis laribando.
Satan es benestuna, de vevis laribando. Satan es benestuna, de vevis laribando. Da colpicciole che snado non aver già cucciato. Adunada na so ben seine mura de pau. Aquel farfana esta night and triste miserable. Aquel farfana esta night and triste miserable. Que es casado es un balai, Milo indelestable. Adunada na so ben seine mura de pau. Crido come nel raggio canta che lo fa mio. Crido come nel raggio canta che lo fa mio. Verso che se vede già se ne pesino fio. Adunada na so ben seine mura de pau. Aquel negre charlatan tu bello crumie paire. Aquel negre charlatan tu bello crumie paire. Mai lubra de belen fana casa lu sapraire. Adunada na so ben seine mura de pau.
Satanes penes tu nada bevis laribado. Satanes penes tu nada bevis laribado. Da che ho piccio che snaggio novia già cucciado. Adunare nasso so ben seinem mugale pa. Giugas dunno chapla ciao and flies la calamelo. Giugas dunno chapla ciao and flies la calamelo. Ludiam blesse vengu fo perdi la cervelo. Adunare nasso so ben seinem mugale pa. Giugas dunno chapla ciao and flies la calamelo. 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 Giugas dunno chapla ciao and flies la calamelo.
Jugas dundo, jugas dundo, jugas dundo, jugas dundo, jugas 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 jugas
Giungas dunno chapla ciao, lupare satanes ple, sembaque cum in pule, mura de la macaduro, tigaliraligo, mura de la macaduro, lantan tigaliraligo, la prunette le miun, lianduna de bastun, lancoyu di la friture, tigaliraligo, semblo paro pescaduro, lantan tigaliraligo. Lupare satanes ple, sembaque cum in pule, mura de la macaduro, tigaliraligo, mura de la macaduro, lantan tigaliraligo. Satanes penes tu nada bevis laribado. Satanes penes tu nada bevis laribado.
Thank you very much. So we're going to do one more song for you before we take a quick intermission. During that time, there's some snacks and wassail-ish beverages over there that you can pick up. Also, if you didn't pick up a little electric tea light candle as you came in, they're in a basket by the door, or we've ran out. But check the basket by the door. We'll be using those in the second half. Also, for you this evening, we have considerately brought all of the gifts that you need to give to your loved ones or your enemies during this holiday season. They're over here, and they come in the form of 5 different albums. 2 of them look exactly like you would expect a CD to look. They're in a sort of almost square package. That is our first album, which is called Midwinter Meeting, not a holiday album, just has that name. It's a whole bunch of different songs from different cultures, different languages, different singing styles. We also have Lay Around That Shack, which is our American and English album, some banjo and washboard, plus all of the 4-part harmony that you would expect from Windborne. And then we get to a bunch of items on the table that don't necessarily look like CDs. They look more like books, and that is because they are books with CDs inside the books. This is the secret. We just really like writing liner notes, and we kept writing liner notes until the CDs expanded, and then they just magically turned into books. There's 2 albums on the table, a brown book and a little black book, that are on the subject of songs from past movements of social struggle, sung for some of the struggles in today's world. And that is Of Hard Times and Harmony and Song on the Times. And then we have our very newly released, fresh off the presses, in full color with fold-out panels and watercolors and all of that, To Warm the Winter Hearth. And that is the holiday seasonal repertoire that you've been hearing this evening. And we've just had that for a handful of concerts so far, so you're some of the first people to get it in person at a show. So check that out. There's also t-shirts and stickers, so you can see all of that stuff there. We do take credit card, Venmo, no Bitcoin. That's all the information I have for you. But we're going to end this half, since we've been on this theme of sort of strange and unusual holiday seasonal myth. It would really be a shame to end the half without including one of the most famous characters of all. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very, very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then on one foggy Christmas Eve, old Santa came to say, "Oh, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, oh, won't you guide my sleigh?" Then how the reindeer loved him, and they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Oh, Rudolph, you'll go down in history." And lo, their words were prophecy, and soon before too long, Rudolph had signed a film deal and was valorized in song. But we forgot the melody and always sing it wrong, and we try to remember every year. Did we come near as we sing of Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer? Red-nosed reindeer.
Okay, they kind of said it all. Food over there. The mall is over here, so you know where to go shopping. And we're back. I'd like to remind people to please silence your phones. Turn them off, turn them to vibrate, something that doesn't make noise. That would be great, especially in this half of the show. So, everybody's quiet. Welcome back, Windborne.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to start off this half by teaching you some songs that we're going to sing later on in the half, but get some of the teaching out of the way so we don't have to do it later. And the first of those songs is a song that we rewrote, an old American song, to be about the process of making the drink of wassail, because not only is it a tradition where you go around and sing for your neighbors and friends, and it's the toast, be in good health, but it's the drink of all of the leftover bits of your pantry that you make into this festive beverage. And you have a part that we'd love for you to sing along on the chorus. It sounds like this. Toast the trees, and if you please. Try that. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
We'll wassail at your door.
So together it sounds like this. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
Toast the trees,
and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. And actually, before that, we have a little sort of entrance tag that sounds like this. As those who've gone before us, toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. Try that. As those who've gone before us, toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. Nice. You have it. The only problem is that we sing it much faster than you do currently. So we're going to work on that. It's going to sound like this. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. Try it.
Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
And let's add on that tag that as those who've gone before us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. As those who've gone before us, toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail. Do it again. At your door. As those who've gone before us, toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. Nice. Tuck that in your memory. We're going to learn another song. That'll come in handy later.
The next song we're going to teach you is a song from Lithuania. So in the first half, we sang a song in Lithuania, and we did not make you sing along. But now you get to sing in Lithuanian. So this is a song that's part of the living tradition in Lithuania that dates back to pre-Christian times. Lithuania was the last country in Europe to be converted to Christianity, which means that there are a lot of these songs that have survived that give us a glimpse into how deeply connected people were to the natural world. And for the past 10 years or so, Windborne has been traveling to Lithuania, and we've made good friends with a group there that is reviving these traditions, and we learned this song from them. So this is a song that is beseeching the sun to rise, and shepherds used to sing it at the end of a long, cold night, asking the sun to rise. And so the only words are sun, mother, rise, except in Lithuanian. So, sun, saulala,
Saulala,
mother, motula,
Motula,
and rise, ushtakek.
Ushtakek,
That one happens twice, so say it again, ushtakek.
Ushtakek,
Saulala, motula,
Saulala, Motula,
ushtakek, ushtakek.
Ushtakek, ushtakek.
Just those two notes back and forth. Yeah, saulala, motula, ushtakek, ushtakek. Let's sing it together a few times.
Saulala motula ushtakek, ushtakek. Saulala motula ushtakek, ushtakek.
I think you've got it. That's really great. So, in this half, there will be a period of darkness. And so instead of the usual lights coming up cue and you can look at your programs, we will sing it together in the dark. So your cue will be when you hear us start singing that song, you just join right in. And we'll sing it over and over again together. We will add some other parts, but you just stick on that part. And while you're singing this song, this is also the moment to take out those little electric candles.
Not yet, Joy.
Take out those, the darkness will come later. We're not quite there yet. I'm just warning you of possible future, or not possible, definite future events. But as we sing Saulala and Ask the Sun to Rise, during that song, you can turn on your little candle and add it to the growing light as we all together sing for the sun to return. And all that's for later, but you are well prepared. But for now, we're going to sing you a song by our dear friend Zoe Mulford. And this is a song that she wrote inspired by a whole bunch of different New Year's traditions. And it's called Welcome in Another Year. Build up the bonfires.
Now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight.
Light the bonfires, another year has flown. Gather friends around you, don't spend the night alone.
Sweep out the courtyard to greet the coming year. Lay a handsome table, your visitors are here. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. Here come your sorrows, all your old regrets, every broken promise and every unpaid debt. Perched on your shoulder, yearning toward the flame. Pour them a glass of whiskey and greet them all by name. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. Now make them welcome.
Offer them release, offer them atonement, and pray they may find peace.
Give them your blessing, but do not let them stay. Beat on the cans and the pots and pans and send them on their way. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. Build up the bonfires, now the seasons turn. Welcome in another year and let the old one burn. Build up the bonfires, light the candles bright. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. All the hungry spirits will be coming by tonight. So in the first half, we told you the story of the cutty wren, the king of the birds, and how, as kids, we always used to laugh at that song sort of for these huge exaggerations of hunting for a tiny bird, the king, with these guns and cannons and hatchets and cleavers, and then distributing the spoils to the poor. And we thought that that was a hilarious exaggeration. However, some folklorists believe that there is a different story behind the origins of this song. And in 1381, fed up with the forced labor of serfdom in England, peasant workers and urban craftspeople laid down their tools of industry and took up arms against that system. And it was sort of the first blow against serfdom in England that there had been. And it was founded on this premise that all people were equal and that all things should be held in common. And it became known as the Peasants' Revolt by historians. And, you know, history is written by the victors, but sometimes those unwritten stories show up in unusual places, certainly in folklore, certainly in folk song. And so when one starts to look at a song that talks about going off to the woods to hunt for the king with the guns and cannons and distributing the spoils to the poor, it starts to sound less like a humorous song about a bird and perhaps more like the veiled language of rebellion. And we wanted to lean into some of those double meanings, and we found our inspiration in a Welsh wrenning song, and in particular in its mysterious character of the never beyond.
Where are you going, says Dibbin to Dobbin? Where are you going, says Richard to Robin? Where are you going, says John?
Where do you go, says the never beyond.
We go to the woods, says Dibbin to Dobbin.
We go to the woods,
says Richard to Robin.
we go to the woods, says John. Down to the woods, says the never beyond.
What will you do there, says Dibbin to Dobbin?
What will you do there, says Richard to Robin. What will you do there, says John. What will you do, says the never beyond.
We'll hunt the little wren, says Dibbin to Dobbin. We'll
Hunt the little wren, says Richard to Robin. Hunt the little wren, says John. Hunting the king, says the never beyond.
And how will you hunt him, says Dibbin to Dobbin?
How will you hunt him, says Richard to Robin. How will you hunt him, says John. Join in the hunt, says the never beyond.
With sticks and with stones, says Dibbin to Dobbin.
With sticks and with stones,
says Richard to Robin.
with sticks and with stones, says John.
Sticks and stones to the
Never beyond.
How will you bear him, says Dibbin to Dobbin?
How will you bear him, says Richard to Robin. How will you bear him, says John. How do you bear him, says the never beyond.
A cart and a horse, says Dibbin to Dobbin.
A cart and a horse, says Richard to Robin. A cart and a horse, says John. A cart for a king, says the never beyond. And how will you serve him, says Dibbin to Dobbin. How will you serve him, says Richard to Robin. How will you serve him, says John. Serve him at supper, says the never beyond.
Who'll come to dinner, says Dibbin to Dobbin.
And who's at the feast, says Richard to Robin. Who's at the table, says John. Who gets to eat?
I eyes to the blind, says Dibbin to Dubbin. Wings to the chain, says Richard to Robin.
Ribs to the poor, says John. To each their due, says the never beyond. So where are you going?
Says Dibbin to Dubbin.
And where are you going?
Says Richard to Robin.
Where are you going? Says John. Where are you going? Says John.
And
What will you do?
Says the never beyond.
Now is a time of darkness. So what will we do? This time of darkness, of uncertainty, when light seems far removed and shadows at their strength. But it cannot just be a time of despair. We invite you on a journey, a ritual, to find strength, purpose, and connection as we weather the darkness together. And we will begin with a blessing.
Praise to the moon, bright queen of the skies, jewel of the black night, the light of our eyes. Brighter than starlight, whiter than snow, look down on us in the darkness below. If well you should find us, then well let us stay. Be it 7 times better when you make your way. Be it 7 times better when we greet the dawn. So light up our way and keep us from all harm. Give strength to the weary, give alms to the poor, to the tainted and needy 5 senses restore. Give song to our voices, give sight to our eyes, to see the sun bow as the new moon shall rise. Cast your eyes downward to our dwelling place, 3 times for favor and 3 times for grace. Over the dark clouds your face for to see, to banish misfortune and keep Trinity. In the name of Our Lady, bright maiden of grace, in the name of the shadows that pass without trace, by the stars in the night sky, above earth and sea, all praise to the moon for eternity.
Now we will count to 12, and we will all be still. For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak in any language let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen on the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused for total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want nothing of death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a great silence might interrupt the sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count to 12. And you keep quiet. And I will go.
Through eating too much supper, before I went to bed, strange thoughts came o'er my slumber, strange thoughts came in my head. This world was topsy-turvy, and people of renown were doing the most peculiar things as the world turned upside down. I dreamt all folk were equals, and there were no starving poor, and nations never did quarrel, nor never went to war. Oh, what a curious vision, and yet a question sounds. Is it in dreams or waking that the world's turned upside down? 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet. We've got a heavy load. We've got a heavy load. The way is blind with blood and sweat, and death sings in our ears. But time is marching on our side. We will defeat the years. We will defeat
drunken shank, our only treasured earth. With women who carry at their breast heirs to the hungry earth, heirs to the hungry earth. Speak with one voice, we march, we rest, and march again upon the years. Those yet to come will stand upon the world that we build here, the world that we build here. 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet, we've got a heavy load. We've got a heavy load.
When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
As sharp as the thorn, and the sun rose on the solstice all on Yuletide morn, and sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly.
So bright and so gay, and the sun rose on the solstice to open the way, and sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly. The holly bears a blossom as white as the snow, and the sun rose on the solstice for new life to grow, and sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly. The holly bears a berry red and full of cheer, and the sun rose on the solstice to bring the new year, and sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly. The holly and the ivy now both are full grown. Of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown, and sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly. Sing, oh, the holy holly, and oh, the holly, and of all the trees that are in the wood, it is the holly.
So what will you do?
You who are brave,
Build up the bonfires.
As those who have gone before,
The going isn't easy yet. We've got a heavy load.
Gather friends around you.
Don't spend the night alone.
A good loaf and cheese would do us no harm.
Bud and blossom,
Bud and blossom, bud and bloom and bear. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive.
The sun rises to open the way.
And the day-blind stars are waiting with their light.
O kind companions gathered here,
All at the turning of the year, the hour grows late, our hearts grow fond.
in melody shall be our bond. We live in hope, we pray for peace, we meet with joy the year's new lease. The falling snow, the icy moonlight shining clear. So let us sing to welcome in the turning year. Now Yule is past, the old year fades, time heals all wounds, or so they say. Though battle scarred, we will prevail. We hold the pen that writes the tale. Do not regret the flow of years, for there is naught that disappears. Our every kindness written large among the stars. So let us sing to welcome in the turning year. The tallest trees, the barest boughs, the callow choir of earnest vows. Whatever boon we ask of life, we ask it here, we ask it now. So let us toast to absent friends, to those we've hurt, let's make amends. And those we love, let's set them free, yet hold them near. And let us sing to welcome in the turning year.
The minutes pass, the hour strikes, the mighty flares light up the night. Now let us raise a festive glass, that all we hope may come to pass. I wish you joy, I wish you peace, I wish you health, but more than these, the power to know just what to keep and what let go. So let us sing to welcome in the turning year. Let us sing to welcome in the turning year.
Thank you. We want to thank you all for coming on that journey with us, for being here tonight, for raising your songs with us, with each other. Being close together, singing in community is a rare thing in the world these days, and it's so special to have a place like this to do that in. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for all the people who made this possible, who let you in the door, who brought the meals, who served the cake, who ran sound and video. Thank you for all of you on the live stream. Let's have a hand for all the folks who made this possible here tonight. We only have one more show on this tour. tomorrow night at the City Winery in Boston. So if you know any folks in that area who might not want to miss such a evening of singing and song, please do send them our way. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone. With your efforts and the Windborne match, we've raised over $1,200 for the food banks of the Capital Region. So thank you very much for that effort as well.
So we'll return to where we began with wassailing, songs that connect us to neighbors and friends, to nature and the cycle of the seasons, to tradition and ancestors. This is an old American tune that we've written new words for about making a pot of wassail. You've already learned the chorus, so please join in. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
First we pour into the bowl a cup of last year's mead, for now's the time to make wassail and bless the root and seed, and bless the root and seed, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
The second thing that goes in the bowl, it is the nut brown ale, for now's the time to make wassail and travel hill and dale, and travel hill and dale, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
Third, we toss into the bowl some nutmeg, clove, and spice, for now's the time to make wassail to ward off snow and ice, to ward off snow and ice, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
Next we add into the bowl a splash of cider sweet, for now's the time to make wassail the new year for to greet, the new year for to greet, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
And next we put into the bowl a cut of ginger root, for now's the time to make wassail and bid the boughs to fruit, and bid the boughs to fruit, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
Next we add into the bowl the apple bright and red, for now's the time to make wassail the good cheer for to spread, the good cheer for to spread, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. To warm our wassail bowl, we stick in the red-hot brand. Our jolly wassail now is made to bless the fertile land, to bless the fertile land, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. Then into the bubbling pot we dip the buttered toast, and nestle these among the trees, a blessing for our host, a blessing for our host, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. The last thing that goes in the bowl, it is the ladle bright, to pour for neighbors and for friends, to last us all the night, to last us all the night, as those who've gone before us. Toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door. We will toast the trees, and if you please, we'll wassail at your door.
Thank you so much. We'll leave you with one more song, another song about the wren, the king of the birds. Joy, health, love, and peace be all here in this place. By your leave we will sing concerning our King. Our King is well dressed in silks of the best, in ribbons so rare, no king can compare. We have traveled many miles over hedges and stiles in search of our King. Unto you we bring bold Christmas is past. 12th night is the last, and we bid you adieu. Great joy to the new, and we bid you adieu. Great joy to the new. Joy, health, love, and peace.
Thank you so much. Get home safe. We hope to see you next year.
Well, what a way to start the season. We wish you all a very, very merry, happy, whatever you celebrate, holiday. We also, many hands make light work. So if you could be kind enough, if you could fold your chair, and if you're on that side of the room, take it to that wall. There are little signs on the wall that say, stack 10 chairs here, and they're on this side. The tea lights, please place them in the basket on the way out. And thank you. Get home safely, and we'll see you not too long from now. Thanks.